Good day, everyone. Chad from Panama, very, very welcome. And then we've got
Thank
Brenda
you.
from Dubai. She's originally from Africa. So we really have an exciting time here. We have different timelines. I mean, Jeanette is from Australia. She's recording for us. Chad is early morning drinking his coffee. He just woke up. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. And Brenda is my time. We're like in the middle of the day now. So we're really thanking everybody for their time and their effort and everything. And we all are involved with Moringa all around the globe. Now, Chad, I'm going to put you to the floor so you can explain to everyone your whole journey, your whole Moringa story. You have an amazing story. I'm going to tell you where I saw about you guys is there was a cyclone or something happened there, and I think your brother was posting about how they were clearing up and cleaning up the trees and all that. So you're going to tell us even that story as well. But you're on the floor. Tell us your story.
Well, first of all, thank you for the great opportunity. It's always good to know and meet other people who are involved with this miraculous plant. Our story began, my brother and his wife were living in the United States. Both my brother and I were raised here in Panama. My parents are missionaries, and we were raised in the Darien jungle, which is about 70 or 100 kilometers from the Colombian border.
Wow.
And so we were raised here, and while my brother was back in the States making a living, he discovered Moringa. His wife had done some research, and so I had gone up to visit them one time, and that's when they introduced me to Moringa. We started taking Moringa powder, and I could not believe the difference in energy and just overall well-being that it provided. So
and how long ago was that, Chad?
That was probably 7 years ago. And so there's some time that I had moved back to Panama, and I had just been ordering this Moringa powder from the US. And then my brother ended up moving back to Panama with his wife. And one day we're sitting down and we're trying to figure out how to get some Moringa seed to see if Moringa grew in Panama. And as we were in the process of finding seed, an old friend of ours called on the phone. He is a forest engineer. And he asked us literally like 5 minutes after we began speaking, he's like, "Hey, have you guys heard about Moringa?" And so
That's
we
a
knew
miracle.
we knew right then that something was in the makings. So
Wow.
after doing a lot of
Wow.
research and schooling ourselves, not only in the benefits, but also in what was needed as far as growing it, we were able to import some seed that originated from the University of Nicaragua, which is an authority in the region of Moringa. And that's where we began. So we began like really focusing and taking action steps about 6 years ago, roughly. And where we began starting the plantation is 130 kilometers out of Panama City. So it's a very undeveloped area still. We're right next to what's called the Bayano Reserve. It's a forest reserve for a lake that's a hydroelectric plant. So since my brother and I had grown up in the Darien and among the indigenous, we have a huge heart for the local people. And so this project, this endeavor, not only was something to eventually make a living from, but it was also introducing a new cultive or a new plantation to the local people. And also since the rice, the diet here is basically like rice and beans. It's very low nutrition. And so we've seen the opportunity to where we could introduce this into the diet and help them not only grow their own trees, but also benefit from the enormous benefits that we all know Moringa offers. So in 2007, we found an investor and we purchased a low dehydration system, low heat, excuse me, dehydration system. And what we did is the place that we made our factory is right across the river from the plantation.
Wow.
And we repurposed shipping containers. So we pride ourselves in being like 96, 97% recyclable. So everything that we used is repurposed or will be or can be repurposed for something. Because obviously, you have your nutrition, but then on the other hand, the environment, we don't want to keep filling up the seas with plastics and stuff like that.
Yes.
So we have 8 hectares planted. We initially started at 3 meters, but then we went back and planted every 1.5 meters since we're basically harvesting the leaf. And by being able to have this plantation and having obtained all the legal permits and everything from the health department, and we were able to also here recently we had a lot of rain and mudslides due to hurricanes Eta and Iota. Even though Panama wasn't hit directly, the secondary effects, devastated a lot of people in the northern part of the country, as well as down in the Darien province by Colombia. So we seen an opportunity and we jumped on it. And so we started harvesting and processing, and we're donating our tea. So many people here and even some online were asking, they said, like, really, tea, this is not the time to be drinking tea. And so that even opened an opportunity to educate a little bit about it, because it's not about sitting down and having a cup of tea. It's, the whole nutritional basis on it, which will have the effect of, helping them keep their immune systems up in this time of, them going through the struggle and everything, and hopefully keep them from having other medical complications. So
well done. That's like an amazing story so far. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. And so the company we have formed is called Sunara Farms, and Sunara is Moringa in Swahili, I think it is. And so we thought that that's just appropriate, and it's a real attractive name, but it's a purpose-based company. Of course, we're looking to make a living, but the center focus of our company is not the almighty dollar.
Yes.
It's about helping and sharing our information, sharing our knowledge, and just kind of paying it forward, if you will, not only to educate people and get the word out about the Moringa plant, which in itself I feel is one of the most amazing discoveries known to mankind, but also be able to help other people improve their ways of living and also their health, which also has a direct impact on the way of living.
That is awesome. But I think I can just say congratulations for what you guys have done. Basically, you've started and discovered it, And yes, you were introduced by it again through someone else who asked you about it. You know, it's just that connection. And once you make that connection and somebody joins up with you, and you get so excited because Moringa is just doing something amazing. It is the whole Moringa business is everybody is sharing. Everybody is sharing knowledge. Everybody is doing the same thing. Their stories are almost the similar same stories, and you grew up with in the missionary home, so you understand that caring for the community. And that's what we find, that most of the Moringa stories are people that are caring and people that put back in communities. And that's why we started this global awareness of malnutrition, global awareness of healing with, and you can bring health and wealth into it, because you can teach people to make a little bit of money out of it. You can give them seeds, let them grow it, and let them make a little bit of product themselves so that they can also generate a little bit of income. I always use the Coca-Cola story to my own students. I tell them all the little shops are selling Coca-Cola, but all of them are making money out of Coca-Cola. So even if we start sharing Moringa seeds, we will all make money out of Moringa. We will never run out of making a little bit of money, even if it's in small communities. We must never be, scared of sharing our knowledge and sharing our passion for this plant, because it is not called a miracle tree for no reason. There is definitely something amazing about it, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's snowballing across the globe. And we've started to join up everybody around the globe. People were knowing about each other, but we've never really started talking online like this. And I think this is an amazing thing, because we need to get bigger authorities involved to actually really make that bigger impact to help people across the globe with malnutrition, to bring in the care as well, because with Moringa there's a lot of care. Because you make soaps, you make shampoos, and make health foods, health snacks. You can make the tea. I mean, I also manufacture a Moringa tea. I call it the Mariana Bella tea. And it is a very nice tea. I blend mine. I do a blend. I grow lavender and mint on the farm.
Wow.
Now, the lavender that I grow is a Margaret Roberts lavender, and that is by a lady that developed it in South Africa. So it's not your normal lavender. It's a very special lavender that I'm using. And then I add rooibos as well. So the rooibos that I add is also known to South Africa. It grows in a very small area in South Africa, the rooibos. You've heard about the red bush, the rooibos.
Yes.
Yes. And so I do my blend of that. And if we can introduce other superfoods with our Moringa, I think we can add to the taste as well, because sometimes the taste, people are wondering about the taste. And especially when we work with children. Once we start introducing to little kids, then that becomes a focus point, is to bring the blends in, and we can start making other products for children as well, like the little snack bars and things. But you are you also very far in rural, because you say that you work with the indigenous people there. And so the whole community is working in forestry, can I almost say, and fishing.
Yes, I mean, and that's one of the other things that we try to impart, is because, we have to take care of our world.
Yes.
And so, most cultures do what they do in agriculture because that's what they've done for 100 or 1,000 years.
Yes.
So, we don't use any chemicals, any pesticides in anything on our plants. And we explain to them, we have some neem trees, and whenever we have an issue with insects or whatever, we make up a quick batch of neem extract and stuff like that. And it's great, for pests and stuff like that. But the idea is not only to introduce them to other non-traditional crops, but also to explain to them the importance not to go the easy route and buy in weed killer or pesticides and stuff like that, because in the long run that's going to improve our own health, not only leave the earth in a better place for their grandkids and stuff like that. But it's funny if I can go back to your tea blends, we actually here in
Yes.
Panama City, we participate in a little farmers market.
Oh,
And
beautiful. Mm.
what I do is I make cold iced tea from the
Yes.
moringa, and I
Lovely.
mix it with the passion
Mm.
fruit.
Oh,
And
wow. That
yeah,
is
and
good.
I hand out
That's a good
samples.
one.
I hand
Uh,
out samples, and the kids just go crazy over it. And I tell people,
awesome.
it's like, it's a mild green tea, but if you want
Yes,
to get creative, that's really what your limits are. But the whole idea is introduce it, and it's not just a healthy food. It's something that's actually enjoyable. Um,
absolutely. Yes. Then we
so
also have, you can use the moringa also as a fertilizer. It's a very, very good fertilizer when you
yeah,
use the leaves. And then it can be a very good for your fish farming. It's a very
exactly.
good feeding for the fish for fish farming because they grow so much faster. So for the
Right.
community, that will be a very good thing as well. And for purifying water, because I mean the seed, um, you can purify your water. There's a whole way of doing it. Have you guys started doing something like that with
Uh,
this?
No, actually, but that's in our plan because we are just on a small scale starting to extract the oil from the seed. And
Awesome.
so what our plan is to uh, kind of come up with a prototype of a water filter using the seed cake,
Yes.
because
Fantastic.
that will be like a byproduct, you
Yes.
know, and I mean, it's a tree that keeps on giving. I mean,
I
it's
know.
amazing. It's almost every week I find some other use for some part of the moringa tree, and it's just
I
mind
know.
blowing.
I know it is. It's really something that's come along, and it is. I think it's just going to be. It's going to make a difference, and it's already starting to make a very, very big
Hmm.
difference. But we need to tell more people about it. We need to spread the Moringa word out there. We really have to push it very hard. And I'm glad to see that on that side of the world that you guys are using and that you actually introduced it. Where did you get your seeds from? You were telling me from, is it?
It well, we um, my partner, one of our partners, is like a forest engineer, and
Yes.
he's from Costa Rica. And so we reached out to some of his family and found a lady in Costa
Yeah.
Rica that actually could get us seed from the University of Nicaragua, which is actually the authority of Moringa in the region. They have
Yes.
just like
And
all kinds of studies and stuff like that. So we
is it
imported
the
it from,
Is it the Moringa oleifera or which one is
yes,
that? The
yes, the
Moringa
oleifera,
oleifera.
right, right.
Yes, yes, yes. No,
Um,
that's very interesting to see how far it's actually gone around the world. And yes, you must actually send me some detail on the university, so that we
okay,
can make contact with them as well. I would like to have a
yeah.
chat to them. And tell me, how many people are you working with in the area? Have you got a big plantation? How many trees have you got now?
Okay, so we have 8 hectares planted, and
Wonderful.
it's like, I think a rough estimate is like 13,000 trees, because
Awesome.
initially we started at 3 meters, but then we planted in between, and
Yes.
we're on a hillside. So
Okay.
it's the land we had available at the time, and
Yes.
we employ about 10 people
Yes.
part-time. There's only one
Yes.
person that's like full-time, and of course the partners. Uh, we
Yes.
just in March sent our first shipment up to the US. So we're actually
Wow.
exporting to the US, and we're looking for that to take off in order to be able to expand as well.
Awesome. And how often do you harvest your trees? Do you,
So we have like the plantation. We have it divided up into plots,
yes.
and once everything is harvested or pruned, uh, because it hasn't been totally pruned for some time because of COVID and stuff like that. But once it's back on schedule, we harvest every 40 days. because studies have showed that at 40 days, the nutrients and stuff are the most bioavailable for the body to absorb. Anything after that, it gets harder for the body to extract the nutrients.
Absolutely, yes.
And so the idea is to have a constant rotating harvest. So when plot number 1 is harvest and you move to plot number 2, by the time you get back to plot number 1, it's ready to harvest again.
And the pots and the flowers.
We have one part of the plantation that is our like seed bank. So we let them grow and let them flower and let them pod. But our future plans are to have another plantation, but have it more mechanic, plant by tractor. For the foliage, and then convert the current plantation into the seed bank.
Okay, so you're going to then harvest all the time on the other one, and you're going to plant it in such a way that it's going to be easy to okay, I'm with you. I understand.
It's going to be on flat ground instead of on a hill, so that we can do similar to like tea, how they just cut the leaves off every 40 days.
You also have the better like you really have to harvest in order to get the best out of your leaves, and that's what we are trying to find out and see how long people have been using moringa, how they got involved, and also how often are they harvesting, because we find that some places people leave the trees and they just harvest as the leaves fall down, and they catch them, and that is not the correct way. That is not the best way for the nutrients, and to get the best out of your out of the plant. So the teachings have to go forth. Yes.
And as I had done some research and everything, I found out that any tree 40 days is like the sweet point, because the normal process of the tree, at 40 days it starts making those nutrients available to the tree. And so in the aging process and everything like that, that's what makes it more difficult for our bodies to extract and digest that. So it's amazing. I mean, the studies and everything about it. So 40 days.
And I think that's what we need to teach out there as well, so that when people buy, that they understand when they buy and what they buy is the correct. So if we tell them, listen, we are focusing on a certain point, like this pointer, then they will definitely get then the best value out of the products that they are purchasing. But that all comes in with good business practices in your harvesting process and with running your business as well. But thank you very much, Chad. It was not good. Our time is running out here. But it was very good chatting to you. And yes, we're definitely going to keep an eye on you. But how is things going after the bad weather that hit you guys there?
Well,
is everything all right? Because there was a lot of damage.
It was amazing, and it's stuff that nobody expected. Up north is where most of the produce is grown and stuff like that, and we had like all hills, total hills, like mudslide and ruin all kinds of plantations and stuff. But thank God, the weather is starting to shape up, and even though it's still raining, everything seems to be back on schedule. There's been all kinds of humanitarian help for the people that are affected, and so they're in the process of rebuilding. So we're also are working with a friend of ours that live up in that area, and we're also wanting to introduce moringa in those areas as well, because I mean, this is the perfect time. And
it's a quick grower. It grows so fast.
Exactly, it grows so fast.
It's amazing.
And
within 3 months, you can already start harvesting, and you can already have access to making money out of it. So it can actually, maybe fix a little bit financial situations, and the food situation where other food plants might have been damaged, for food supply. So the moringa is protein as well. So I think it can really help a lot for the people in the area.
Yeah,
I'm
and that's
wishing
the
you
main
guys
goal.
all the best. I
Thank you
really,
so
really
much.
wish you all the best. And please keep posting. I'm also going to post all the photos that you've sent me. Send me
Okay.
more, even on the, maybe also on the damages that has been there. So that we can
Okay.
actually make a story for like in 3 months' time to see, how you could introduce the moringa in the other area.
I'm actually waiting for some new pictures, because what we had is we talked with the local police, the border police, and they were able to helicopter in the first donation. And so they're supposed to take pictures and everything. And I'm waiting on them to get back to me so that I definitely send those to you.
Wow,
as well as the other
that.
people we're working with.
Yes, please do that, because you know what? There's so many stories all over the globe that happen like this, where there has been big damages and all that. And if we can, with Moringa, have quick, fast relief, at least that can be more stories. It can be bigger stories, to help for people around the globe. But
and
thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a lovely Sunday there. Your day has just started.
Okay.
Enjoy it, and please take care, and Moringa blessings for your family, and enjoy.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.